what just happened? Can somebody explain what just happened? Blue Jays fans, if you like this, explain it to me. We have a very complicated situation to get into right now with a Blue Jays and Diamondbacks trade that Heyman brings us in. Trade close, Varsho to Blue Jays. Then Passan hits us with the Gabriel Moreno thing. And I'm thinking, all right, that's a lot. That's a lot. But Daulton Varsho is a really good player. There's some good upside here. There is a lot of control. Okay. And then you throw in Lourdes Gurriel Jr. At what point do the Blue Jays stop giving up pieces where they were strong to get other, like, can we stay strong in one area without having to sacrifice that to get better in others? My point is, was there a world where we could have gotten a lefty bat and not had to give up the future catcher and a left field? Now, I don't know if Lourdes Gurriel was ever going to be re-signed at the end of the year. That is something we don't know, and we won't know, because now that's not a road we're ever going to go down. But I like Gurriel Jr. Good hitter. Teoscar Hernandez for a bullpen piece. I feel like there's a better way that this offseason could have gone. I need somebody to try to sell me on this. I see a lot of you in the comments that this is an L trade. Obviously, everybody that is here live, everybody that is here watching the replay, comment below with your thoughts on this trade. Those of you that are Blue Jay fans, I think, are going to give this a massive L. If you are not connected to the Blue Jays in any form or fashion, or Arizona, what is your take on this trade? Hogwatch, I see you in here, Born. You were DMing me on Twitter too. This is basically what happens if you miss out on. The Blue Jays missed out on the free agent pieces. So we didn't want to overpay financially for Brandon Nimmo and other pieces, but we're willing to overpay when it comes to what we're giving up for other players. We're willing to overpay for Swanson. Sorry, we overpaid for Swanson. We're willing to overpay for Daulton Varsho. Sorry, this is an overpay. So we're willing to overpay with the players that are on the field, with the talent that we're sending out, but we're not willing to spend an extra $5 million a year to just get Brandon Nimmo and then still have these other pieces. I need some help. I need some help with this one, everybody. I wanted to be excited about this. When I first saw the trade, I saw Varsho to Blue Jays. I was like, this is great. This is great news. And then it wasn't great news. This was the tweet from Passan to get it all started. Well, actually, the Heyman thing got it started. And the Passan just sort of took us over to the next level, where we have Jays and Diamondbacks are in agreement on a trade that will send Daulton Varsho to the Blue Jays for a package that includes top catching prospect. And then that was at 3:53. A few minutes later, the additional player is outfielder Lourdes Gurriel Jr. They're also trading away. I don't know if this is going to matter. They're trading away. Frank, were there more arbitration years on Gurriel? There might have been. I'm trying to remember that. If I pull that up, I have a feeling we're going to lag and stream and die, but that may be accurate. You are trading away. Listen, the player on the team that you want to keep the most happy, I feel like you're trading away all of his friends, right? I mean, we kind of doing that. You're trading away all of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s friends. You trade away Teoscar Hernandez. You trade away Lourdes Gurriel Jr. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of speechless here. Hogwatch, thank you for the $1.99 dono, $2 dono. Thank you, brother Jim. What has Toronto done right in the last 4 years? I mean, it's hard to look back sometimes. In the moment, it felt like Springer was right. And I've not given up on George Springer, though I know that we're now getting into a phase where we're trying to limit his wear and tear in the outfield. If you wanted George Springer, that's what you had to do. We knew the Ryu thing was going to be kind of sketchy, the back half of that contract, and now there's about $40 million that is being paid to Hyunjin Ryu, and collectively there may be 10 starts to show for that $40 million. And listen, I mean, it's going to happen. I am a little... Gosman was a good one. Good call. I see ghosts. I do like the Gosman deal. I think you gotta hold on about the Jose Barrios thing. I don't think we can kill him for Barrios, because after the trade was made, he pitched well. He just didn't pitch well this past year. Wally, Mantis, it matters if you want to re-sign him. Mantis, who cares if Vladdy is mad because he'll focus more on baseball then? No, that's exactly it. Wally, you got me on that one. That's the problem, is you just create maybe a frosty situation with the player that you want to keep everything warm and rosy with. Raul, this is an L for the Jays. I don't mind giving up Gurriel, who would have been a free agent. This is a panic move by the Jays because they didn't get Conforto. We could have used Moreno in the Reynolds trade. That's fair. Raul, thank you for that. Let's see. There is now a world where it's Jansen and it's Kirk, and that's fine. Moreno for Varsho, I think straight up that should have been fine. I don't understand why Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has to be in this trade. Everybody that's with me, make sure to hit that like, everybody. Even if you are a Jays fan and you are not enjoying how this trade went down, do me a favor and hit the like. We are going to react to this. Listen, at the end of the day, we got to consider what... God damn, I'm like... I want to be positive. I really do. I don't want to be, I don't want to neg on this, but I'm not loving it, guys. We're only about 25 likes away from the like goal, so please hit that like if you have not yet. Lourdes is a free agent after 2024. So you had the contract. If you guys remember that Lourdes Gurriel had a contract that took him through it, basically bought out any of the most of the arbitration. So you have now he signed a 7-year, $22 million contract way back when, and that's now coming up to the end. So you had the 2023 season, you had a 2024 arbitration season, and then he's a free agent after the 2024 season. So you had some control there. Gurriel also, listen, I mean, Gurriel took a step back last year, gang. That cannot be forgotten. That there was a step back last year made by Lourdes Gurriel. So that's something to consider as we think about what is Lourdes Gurriel. He's a good hitter. We've seen that in the past. Hawk, L for the Blue Jays. Slime Swoop, this is a joke. I don't think there are many Blue Jay fans that are going to enjoy this trade. I know we needed a lefty. Guys, Daulton Varsho is a good baseball player. Is there much more room for him to grow is something that I have to wonder about. Because this last year, he reached a level with his pop. He also... But this is, guys. He's a good defender. We'll like him in the outfield. He'll be the center fielder. I guess he'll be the left fielder. I don't know. We got Kevin Kiermaier. I don't understand it, boys and girls. I don't understand it. Jeremy, the deal is done pending a physical. Okay, the deal is done pending a physical. Varsho for Kirk would have been easier to stomach. Yeah, I don't understand why this had to happen. Why did it have to be this trade? I don't always do this, but I'm going to pull up the baseball trade values, and I'm going to get that up. It's going to take me a minute, but I am very curious to see. Let's see. Well, okay, according to baseball trade values, the Toronto Blue Jays make out big time in this deal. Let's see if I can pull this up without crashing the whole system. They won't let me zoom in. I don't know why this website. Really, guys, you are a prominent enough website to have fixed that. I don't know if you can see that. I can't zoom in on it because, again, the website needs a little help. But you have the Blue Jays getting Daulton Varsho's value, $74 million, giving up Moreno and Gurriel's value of $59. So if you want to look at baseball trade values, the Blue Jays get the better deal out of this trade. Again, that's if you are looking at baseball trade values. Part of the situation with Varsho is that he's arbitration eligible for the first time right now. So you have 3 years, and he's not a free agent until 2027. So that's good, but I feel like there's an overpay. Wardy, I am feeling like the Blue Jays overpaid. Baseball trade values tells me something different, but I feel like this is a little bit of an overpay. Daulton Varsho, again, I like what he does defensively, outs above average, outfielder jump. All of that is good. The barrel rate is decent, but he doesn't hit the ball hard. 25th percentile hard hit rate. Exit velo, 25th percentile. He doesn't hit the ball hard. He strikes out a lot. 27th percentile in K rate. That's bad. He swings and misses. He chases out of the zone. There's a lot of stuff I don't necessarily like. And when I look at a guy who made the jump, this was his first full year. All right, 95 games in 2021, 37 games in 2020. We saw the power take a step. He went from 11 home runs to 27 home runs, which you would hope. You see the at-bats go from 284 to 531. You would hope that the power would at least double as the at-bats doubled. And then some, right? We got up to 27, but I don't like the strikeouts. I do not like that with the power increase there was a dip in average, there was a dip in on base. The Blue Jays need a lefty bat. Is this the guy? William overpaid, but with the catching surplus, still very good. Fair. I mean, you had the surplus. You had a surplus in catchers. I would have rather have done Jansen and Gurriel. What do you do? What do you do? Everybody that's in here. Moreno, too much. Again, if I had seen Moreno and then you just give me a prospect. Give me a prospect down the list. Someone in that 15 to 25. Give me that guy. Give me Moreno, and I'm good with the trade. I also, from an Arizona perspective, wasn't the whole purpose of this to shed an outfielder and you just bring an outfielder back into the equation? So I guess Arizona's not going to be done with their trades because they still have a surplus in outfielders here. So I think that you have to consider that. I am interested in checking out some of the other reaction on Twitter. Guys, make sure to hit that like if you have not yet and subscribe. Those of you that might just be finding us for the first time. Ben Nicholson Smith tweeting right now, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno head to Arizona in a deal that brings Varsho to Toronto. That is just coming from Ben Nicholson Smith right now. As he sees what Jeff Passan has been up to. Nothing else here. Listen, again, I like Varsho, but I just feel like this is much. D-backs traded from excess in outfield and capitalized. They are on the rise. So are we going to be looking at this now? Are the Diamondbacks going to be looked at like the winners? Atkins doesn't know what they are doing. I mean, I'll say this about Atkins. I mean, they've made moves. They've made moves, but are they the right moves? Oh, man. I want to see more of your reaction and read more of your reaction. Ryan, what are the Jays doing? A weird mini rebuild? I don't get it. No, Daulton Varsho's a good ball player. It's just a lot. The addition of Gurriel kind of stings. I'm with you on that. I would have rather Lourdes Gurriel remained on the club. I don't know. I am, again, Lourdes Gurriel, when we think about Varsho, Gurriel did hit the ball hard. The exit velo was good. He did not strike out. So you're getting the lefty bat. You're getting some more pop because, again, Gurriel's power took a dip this year. We saw 21 home runs in 2021 from Gurriel, but then just 5 last year, but we saw the on-base percentage and the batting average rise for Lourdes Gurriel. We saw more doubles from 28 to 32. So he was a very productive player in the lineup. And now you're bringing in a guy that, I mean, again, we've seen Gurriel now. We have seen Gurriel be a regular on this team for 3-4 years. And we've seen what he can do. We know what he can do. Daulton Varsho last year was really the first year. And I understand he's a top prospect coming up and all that. But, man, that's a tough one. King, what's the contracts looking like? Did you guys shed money or something? No, there's no money shed here. Moreno is a pre-arbitration guy. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was on a very team-friendly contract with one more year of arbitration. So there was 2 years. The Diamondbacks are getting at least 2 years of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. This is a good trade for the Diamondbacks. At the end of the day, this is a good trade for the Arizona Diamondbacks. For the Toronto Blue Jays, we don't know. And we won't know. I'm in a tough spot. Varsho Willard. Varsho is solid. I do like Daulton Varsho, but here's, I don't know, man. Listen, we were in a spot at one point where we thought the Blue Jays were serious contenders for Nimmo and Bellinger. And I guess the hard part is that now we're in a spot where we're looking at Varsho and Kiermaier. And offensively, that's not the same. And you've also got a spot where now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is gone. Gabriel Moreno is gone. I think this is a gut punch for Blue Jay fans because Teoscar Hernandez is gone and now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is gone. And we have, I don't think the returns are back. These are also two fan favorites. That's another part to this. Yes, I just don't like, Hogwatch. It's okay not to not like the trade. Just tell it how it is. It's going to help Toronto probably next year, but damn. I feel like I want to get behind it. Look, Daulton Varsho's a Blue Jay. Got to rally around the new player. Got to root for him. I'm going to wish for the best for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabriel Moreno. We hardly knew you. Good luck. Varsho is very young. Yes, Daulton Varsho is actually 26. He's entering his age 26 season. Daulton Varsho is. So you are getting, again, he will not be a free agent until 2027. So that's cool. But you know what? Gabriel Moreno wasn't going to be a free agent until like 28 or 29. So Gabriel Moreno was even farther off. Gabriel Moreno might be Daulton Varsho. Maybe better. But a right-handed bat, not a lefty bat. So the Blue Jays traded away Moreno. Now Moreno maybe won't be that. Moreno maybe finds his spot as a second catcher. Good skill behind the dish, and 15 homer guy with a 275 average, 315, 320 on base, and a slugging of 400. I don't know, or he could be bigger than that. Man, I'm having a tough time with this one. Robert, what's going on, my guy? 161 River, Jason, how are you doing? I wonder if this sets the Reynolds market now. Well, you have to consider that. That's a good point because Daulton Varsho, young, controllable, a lot of time until he's a free agent, outfield bat. So sure, I mean, if you are the Pirates and you were hoping to trade Bryan Reynolds for a Juan Soto type package, now that's not going to happen. But this gives you sort of the framework. Top prospect, Moreno was the Blue Jays' top prospect. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., a prime, played a major league bat, is at least what Pittsburgh will be getting for Bryan Reynolds. Bryan Reynolds, a switch hitter. Bryan Reynolds defensively, I think I'd have to go look. Pittsburgh fans could probably correct me. I think Varsho is just as good, if not better, a defender than Bryan Reynolds. Outs above average, Varsho was 99th percentile. Outfield jump, 97th percentile. Bryan Reynolds, outs above average, 6th percentile. So a better defender is Daulton Varsho than Bryan Reynolds. Throwing that in there. King, you need to find a trade partner to get rid of a catcher. Well, not anymore. Not in the blue. Not anymore. You may be referring to something else, but not now. Sebastian, do I think Gurriel's going to get shipped? I brought that up a few minutes ago. You have Your number one objective, if you're the Toronto Blue Jays, needs to be locking Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up and doing everything that will make that happen. One thing that hurts, even if it is small, one thing that hurts is trading away all the guy's friends. And that's Teoscar Hernandez, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. are gone. So now you're going to have to, you're gonna have Vladdy there looking at like left and right. Instead of those two, now it's it's Witt and it's Kiermaier and it's Varsho. I'm telling you, Varsho is an elite defender. Yeah, the defense is great. That's why they got Kevin Kiermaier. So how that all works out, I don't know. You brought him in. I don't know. Okay. Defensively, they're getting better. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Lourdes Gurriel Jr.'s arm was great. We loved what he did. He was a Gold Glove nominee a few years ago, and that was primarily because of the arm. The outfield jump, the outs above average was not good. So the Blue Jays defense in the outfield is better today. That's definite. You're going to have an outfield of Springer, Kiermaier, and Varsho. Is the lineup better? I understand you got the lefty bat that you wanted. All you need is Grisham to beat Clamps. Yes, you mean Champs. Yes, that's the next move. We'll send you Alejandro Kirk and Bo Bichette. How about that? That's the mindset of this front office right now. So the defense is better with this, and that's great because Jays fans, we saw how that playoff game went against Seattle. If we had a better defensive situation, maybe that second game is won. Someone gets to that flare from J.P. Crawford. I don't know. I was in a tough spot. Maybe nobody gets to that, especially if Bo's barreling down in a spot he shouldn't be in. I give him credit for going for it, but shouldn't have been there. So, guys, this again. You've got another situation where the front office is trading away two fan favorites, Teoscar Hernandez a month ago and Lourdes Gurriel Jr. today. You're trading away two fan favorites. You're bringing in Kevin Kiermaier. The fan base generally not on board with Kevin Kiermaier. And now you're bringing in Daulton Varsho, who, again, defensively looks good. Offensively, he did it last year. He did it last year without hitting the ball hard. So what's he going to be this year? He did it last year without hitting the ball hard, and he sacrificed some of his batting and his on base to do it. What's he going to be? Obviously, this front office feels very good about what he's going to be. And the other piece to this that I'm just sort of in a weird spot with is the lineup. Comment below, everybody. Those of you that are with me, is this too much? I think it is too much. The lineup. I pulled this before we came on live. I'm sure this has been updated, but the lineup now with Varsho, dude, guys, is one lefty that can hit going to do it? Is one lefty that can hit going to do it? This is why I wanted Toronto to go the Brandon Nimmo and Cody Bellinger route, or Brandon Nimmo and Michael Conforto route, because I wanted two lefties that I think can hit. And then you throw in Kevin Biggio when you have Kevin Biggio on the field, whatever. You get three lefty bats in the lineup. Kevin Kiermaier can't hit. I mean, not to an impact level. And Kevin Kiermaier would admit to that. He is not going to be an impact lefty bat. And you now have one impact lefty bat. Oh, by the way, a guy that doesn't hit the ball hard. Hashir, thank you for the donation. Varsho can also catch, giving more time. But I don't think they're going to. I think his days catching are gone. I think that's dumb. I think it's done. I don't think we see it. We also got a return for FA. We would most likely not resign for. Well, Gurriel is 2 years away from being a free agent. He's got speed and power. Yes, he does. He does. It's going to be a couple of years till Gurriel's a free agent. You had 2 more years of Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I feel like you could have traded Lourdes Gurriel Jr. alone for something good. And you have to include him with Moreno. I'm telling you. This is a tough one, guys. Elliott is mad. Gurriel is only 1 year of control. No, Matt Gurriel is this upcoming season, 2023, and he is 2024. He's not a unrestricted free agent until after the 2024 season. If you want to double check that, hop on Spot Track. That's where it sits. He's an unrestricted free agent after the 2024 season. I have looked it up. Matt, I would encourage you to go to Spot Track. Unless Spot Track goofed and Spot Track has changed that in the last 2 minutes, that is the deal. His contract did not buy out all of his free agency. His contract did not buy out all of his free agency. So if his Spot Track is wrong, then Spot Track is wrong. I'm going on what Spot Track's. Are the Jays going to call up Orelvis Martinez? Probably. I think he'll get a shot. This is a tough one. I wanted to come on and have a fun stream and be like, the Blue Jays just got the lefty bat. We are good to go. This is it. We got one of the lefty bat. I wanted to do that whole thing. And now the wind has been sucked out of me. I got questions for the front office. I'm very interested to see what others are talking about. Again, the lineup, you take Gurriel out. You add in, I don't even remember the dude's name. Who are we talking about here? Varsho. Let's see. You've got Varsho in there instead of Gurriel. Oh, there's no anybody that wants Jurickson Profar. There's I don't think it's gonna happen. I would like Jurickson Profar, but I don't think it's gonna happen. The contract, guys, everybody, this is... Ben Nicholson-Smith was also 15 minutes late on this. I'll double-check Ben, but Ben was also 15 minutes late tweeting about this. Let's see. I know what the contract was, but that does not necessarily mean the contract bought out all of his years. And that there would not be another year of spring control. My notifications are all over the place. Where are we here? We'll see what Ben had. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Ben. The only thing I see on Twitter from Ben is him confirming or referring to Jeff Pass's tweet. Raul, front office lied about the money they can spend. It's accurate. They obviously had no money to spend, or they got cold feet. John Morosi had it that they had cold feet. That they saw the prices, the dollars that were being spent this year on free agents, and they just could not do it. They could not get into it. Man, Lionheart, I wouldn't go that far. The whole Bloom thing, I get it. GJL Rocco, not for this trade, but Varsho numbers were low because he played for a not great team, aka the Diamondbacks. Listen, I'm hoping for good things from Daulton Varsho. I am. I want good from Daulton Varsho. Plot twisties. Thank you for the dono. The Diamondbacks fleeced us. Varsho has loads of potential, but I would have rather seen Tiedemann and Jansen and a prospect of the Pirates for Reynolds instead. Well, the Jays don't want to trade Tiedemann. You go Jansen, Tiedemann, and a prospect. Yeah, I mean, we know the Blue Jays had checked in. Word was that the Blue Jays had checked in on with the Pirates on Reynolds, and I think that that asking price is very high. This sort of sets the market now. If you're trading Brian Reynolds, for better or for worse, you know you got to get a number one prospect back. We know Pittsburgh wants pitching back. I guess the question is, would you have done Tiedemann, Gurriel, and Moreno, and maybe something else for Reynolds? I don't know. Yeah, Pirates want pitching and lots of it. So you'd have to have Tiedemann. You maybe have to have somebody else in there. I can tell you this. The Diamondbacks, you got to be feeling good today. You have to feel good if you're the Diamondbacks. Hogwatch, Arizona is going to be in the playoffs this year. Heard it here first, 88 wins. The Diamondbacks are good. The Diamondbacks are feeling good about this trade. The Blue Jays fans, I have a feeling, are torn about this. I think that there are a lot of Blue Jay fans that are torn about this. Diamondbacks, good for you. I don't see anything. Blue Jay fans, I don't think there's a united front on any excitement about this trade. I mean, you trade away a fan favorite, that's going to happen. But anyway, this is, I still have the lineup sitting here, don't I? Is it too much? I think the answer is yes. I think that if you wanted to do Moreno and then again pick a prospect somewhere between 15 and 25, I think that should have been able to get it done. You're sending your number one prospect, who, by the way, when he played last year, played well. Gabriel Moreno, it's not like he rolled up to the big leagues and struggled. He did well when he was out there. So I think that you gave up a prospect, number one prospect of the team, that was not just number one of the team. He was among the tops in baseball, depending on where you looked. Baseball America, MLB.com, Baseball Prospectus. He was one of the tops in baseball, period. You gave him up, and you give up Lourdes Gurriel Jr. That's where it just becomes too much. Mantis, the hate on the trade makes zero sense. Well, no, think about it. Mantis. I'll say this. Whenever you're trading away a fan favorite, that is going to strike at that's going to pull at the emotional strings. All right. So you're going to have people that love Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and did not want him, loved his presence on the club, loved seeing him in the dugout, loved what he did for the team. Even though the power numbers went down last year, his doubles were up. So I think that you had and we know Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is a good hitter. So I think you got to couple a lot of things. This isn't one thing that lives in one single silo. It's the fact that the Blue Jays are deciding to trade away existing players on the roster instead of spending money in free agency. Instead of going and getting Brandon Nimmo, overpaying for Brandon Nimmo, they overpay in a trade for Daulton Varsho. So I think that Daulton Varsho is a good player, don't get me wrong. But I don't know if I think the Blue Jays gave up too much, and I also don't think it's enough. One lefty bat that can hit. When you're giving up one of the top prospects in baseball and you're giving up one of your better hitters, when you need more than just Daulton Varsho, just one isn't going to do it. I just feel like it came up short. Brandon, who says Nimmo wanted to play in Toronto? There's a lot that we don't know about all that, but we know the Blue Jays were in on Nimmo and they were talking to Nimmo. Maybe he was never going to leave, and any offer he was getting, he was just using it to get the Mets offer up. We don't know that, but we know that the Blue Jays were trying, they were efforting to get Brandon Nimmo, and there were other lefty bats. Andrew Benintendi, there were others that the Blue Jays had been linked to, and whether it was going to happen or not, I mean, again, there's a ton that we don't know about those. But, man, Paul Gurriel, a good hitter. Good hitters can hit more than 5 home runs. Paul, go look at his whole numbers. Come on, Paul. Look at Gurriel's career stats. The power went down last year. He had 5 home runs last year. His high water mark is 21. He's also hit 20. The power went down, but we saw with the power going down, we saw his doubles increase. We saw the batting average increase to 291. So the years that he gave you 20 homers, the 20 and the 21 in 19 and 20. The batting average was 277 and 276. The years where some of the power went down, we had a higher batting average. Now, actually, that's tough to quantify because 2020 is the year that I'm looking at where he hit 308. 2020, he hit 308 with 11 home runs, but that was the 2020 season. That's all we need to say about that. Anyway, King, on paper, NL West, it is again, good job by the Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks, good. Blue Jays, it's a tough one. It's tough one. Will, you're not getting Nimmo over Cohen's money. Fair. Well, that's what happened. The Blue Jays, not just Nimmo, and maybe Cohen and the Mets rose the market because of, Nimmo, and then, everyone else. The Blue Jays were just not comfortable spending that money. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't know. Again, I wanted to come on to be excited because I thought it was Moreno for Varsho, and I felt like that was a good one. And then you throw in Gurriel, and I feel like it's just too much, and I'm a little torn. Alan, this is what I'm saying. Sell me on it. Jays fans that are happy about this trade, sell me on it. Alan's got something here. This is a great trade for the Jays. Gurriel is not good defensively and not a great hitter. Moreno may be good one day, but Varsho is a pretty sure thing already. Jays might have the best outfield defense. Thank you, Alan. Again, if you are feeling good about this, sell me on it. I need a little bit of help to get there. I like the defense that we're getting with him. I think that Daulton Varsho is a player where offensively, this is just the way I look at it, I need to see him do it again before I'm a believer. That's just me. I need to see him go 27 or more home runs, 20 plus doubles. I need to see that batting average. I'd like to see the batting average and on base come up a little bit if that's possible. I would like to see the strikeout rate go down if that's possible. If we're going to see the batting and on base go up, then that would mean the strikeout rate would have to go down. But there's just I don't know, guys. I mean, I like the control. 302 on base. Listen, again, everyone's going to find everything that they want. There's stats for days. There's stats left to right to find what you want for the argument. If you want to tell me that Lourdes Gurriel Jr. is trash because he hit 5 home runs, that's easy to find. That's right there. But Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hits the ball hard. There's defensively, obviously, Varsho's an upgrade there. Varsho's a stud. The Jays have a viable long-term piece. Listen, I was a believer in Gabriel Moreno. I guess maybe there's part of my problem is I was a believer. Ben Nicholson Smith tweeting out, Daulton Varsho can catch at the big league level, but more importantly, he's emerged as an elite defensive outfielder the last couple of years. He's 26, 4 years from free agency. Yes, Gabriel Moreno's like 6 years from free agency. Anyway. He's not going to catch. If Daulton Varsho catches, it's going to be 2 or 3 times. You won't see him catching. He's going to be in the outfield. And that's just that. We don't even need to bring up the fact he can catch. Great. What we're trying to find, we're just trying to find positives to talk about. I'm not. Gurriel has like a month and a half of good baseball. Other parts of the year was not. I get you. He can be streaky. Gurriel can be streaky. I get that. But at the same time, I have not seen enough of Daulton Varsho to know if he's streaky. Let me see. Daulton Varsho stats. I do have his stats. I can look up. The only thing I can give you are let me look at the splits. 2022 splits for Daulton Varsho. Trying to get a feel for first half, second half. Pretty consistent first and second half. Slugging actually went up in the second half last year. We saw in Varsho last year a good May, not so good April, a not so good June. So we'll get a read on him, and we'll do our thing. I don't know, guys. I'm in a weird spot with this one. He's a good defender. I like that. I don't. One's not enough. If anybody's been, you've been with me long enough, I have been saying for the Toronto Blue Jays that you needed 2 impact lefty bats. You needed 2 impact lefty bats. Otherwise, just getting one isn't enough because that guy is on an island by himself. You have many years until he's a free agent. Yep. But you also have, it's one guy. And now you're at a point where, you can add him in the outfield. You can do some things. If it's a multi-year process, is where I'm going. If it is a multi-year process, then you can always do some things where you get Varsho this year, and then next year you get another lefty bat, and then you slowly work a little bit more balance from that perspective. But true aspect. Jays are not getting what they need this offseason. Catchers rarely pan out from Jay White. I'll say this. It does feel like it is a split, but leaning towards negative reaction on the deal. It does feel like for the so basically what that tells me is Arizona won the trade. Do I see another outfielder coming in as a free agent, Steven? I do not, because Jerks and Profar is going to go get an everyday job. I think if Toronto gets another lefty bat, it's not going to be an impact bat. And even Profar, is he an impact bat? Maybe sometimes. You're going to see the Blue Jays end up with like a Robbie Grossman or a David Peralta or somebody like that. That's what you'll see from the Blue Jays. You're not going to see them go and get. You're not going to see them make. Your DH, your catcher DH situation is now Kirk and Jansen. That's what you're going to be doing. So there's nowhere to go and get Profar. If you want to move Whit Merrifield out of the equation, I don't think the Blue Jays want to, though, and I don't want to. I want to see Whit Merrifield get some regular run next year. You're going to have Whit Merrifield and Kevin Biggio into that second base spot. And we know Kevin can move around, and so can Whit. They can play multiple spots. So there's some versatility there. But this is probably going to be it. Yeah. Connor's a bad decade of a bad Jays team. I don't think so. I'm not going that far. I'm disappointed by the trade. I'm not going that far. Blue Jays tweeting just now, official, we've acquired Gold Glove finalist and all MLB finalist Daulton Varsho from the D-backs in exchange for Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Gabby Moreno. I'll come around to it. I wanted immediacy. I wanted excitement right off the bat. I wanted excitement on this trade, and I just don't have it. I'll get there, guys. I'll get there. He's a good player. Last year he was a good player. I want to see it. I'll tell you this. He's a guy I want to see do it again. And now I want him to see him do it again even more so. I worry about the hard hit rate, the average exit velocity, the K rate, the swing and miss rate, the chase rate. I don't like any of that. I don't want a lefty bat that strikes out a ton. Maybe he'll cut down on that. He's still young. He can get better. Anyway. Guys, hit the like if you haven't. Lionheart, I'm with you. Well, I'll come around eventually. I got to get my head together because I am going to do a short 5-minute breakdown of this trade, more from, again, I'm going to take the Blue Jays hat off and do it from an MLB perspective, like we try to keep this channel just baseball and not Blue Jays. So I am going to I'm gonna hop off, guys, and I'm gonna get my thoughts together, get myself together, and do a MLB version of this trade, not a Blue Jays version of this trade. Put the Phil's hat on. Yeah, it's you know what? It got away from me. It's on the floor somewhere. Anyway, everybody, I appreciate you coming in. Thank you for being here. I know we're over the like goal. Keep hitting that like if you have not yet. See how far beyond we can get. Oh, that's right, Willard Mattingly, the Blue Jays. That's right. I keep thinking the Blue Jays, the only lefty bats they've acquired are Kiermaier and Varsho. I forgot they acquired Mattingly too. Maybe he can hit. Might need him. Get him off that bench. Get in there, buddy. Swing the bat. Anyway, guys, I do appreciate you coming in. Thank you. Make sure to hit that like on the way out. Subscribe, all of that stuff. We have a new Toronto Blue Jay. We have 2 on the way out. I am going to, again, keep an eye out. I'll have a different version of this that touches more on the whole aspect. We'll talk more about the Diamondbacks and how they did well in this. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'll come around to it. Jays fans that love it, I'm glad you're already there. Jays fans that are disappointed by it, we'll get there. I want Daulton Varsho to be great. That's the end of that. All right, guys, have a good rest of the day. If anything big happens, anything else big happens, make sure you have the alerts turned on so you can be back and we react to these trades as the trade season, I guess, is this one really the big one that's kicking us off? Could be a very busy, active trade season now that all the big free agent pieces are off the board. Have a good one, everybody. Thank you for coming in. BALLCAP Nation, I salute you. I appreciate your support. I'll catch you guys next time.